tër rendi ñenn ñi mais am na ñu daal di wax na rek naka daal di dóor bopp bi daal di koñawu ci lavabo bi jamono ji nga xamante ne ndeysaan yaay doom ji mi ngi woon ci salle de bain bi dugg di sangu wala it di brosse wu fa la ko rek colonel Mamadou Sall daal di fekk daal di rek daal di jàpp excès de colère la daal di am mer boo xamante ne ëpp la jéggi na dayoo mu daal di
asalaamaaleykum everyone jàmm ngeen fanaan alhamdulillah tey nag yow naa di def Gambia Senegal current affair and even Angleterre UK fii fi ma nekk nii current affair current affair bi tey no anyway dama koy wax ci hàngale waaye bu Sénégal bi obviously yéen ñu ci bëri xam ngeen ko waaye li ma ci bëgg a wax rek mooy ne ñun suñ naqari deret géeg suñ dóor yu bon yi ñuy dóor doom du jur dara lu dul musiba moo tax duñ xam président bu baax duñ xam jabar ju baax duñ xam jëkkër ju baax ñun ñu ci bëri ko ci baax yaa ko jàng sa bopp waaye du sa ay waajur ndax dóor yu bon yi ñu lay dóor soxot ak bon ak siis rek la lay jàngal nothing else anyway si hàngale lay wax current affaire bi tey pour ñi nga xam ne dégguñ hàngale xamuñ li xew xam ko ak fi ma nekk nii Scotland yi fa xam lu fi xew si nit ñi ñuul ñi si benn jigéen ñi ku ñu boo xam ne dafa dee si néegam bugg naa xa wax loolu tuuti bala maa muuf si English fa xam jigéen ñi ku ñu boo xam ne dafa dee si néegam Glasgow fii 2 fukki fan ak 2 ci weer wi tëdd néegam ak doomam ju góor dee ñu ne xamul këyit waaye nag fii boo xamul këyit duñ lay nangoo fay soo sigee asylum fekk sa këyit bi génnul duñ lay nangoo fay benefit liggéey doo ko mën a xam léegi nag ay cooj ak yooyu noonu ñoo la dee dimbale yeneen compagnie yi nga xam ne dañuy dimbale néew gi doole gi léegi nag jigéen ji fa tëdd ak doomam ja sa néeg ba doomam ju góor ju xam benn xat dee waxuñ ñaata fan la dee nag waaye daal ñu ne dee na ndeysaan doom ja di jooy ba doom ja fa sonn te xiif ba nga xam ne police yi bañ ñëwee xaritam yi ñu ne depuis samedi lañ déggul jigéen ji bañ ko déggul depuis samedi ba talaata xaw ma lundi te samedi ba lundi daal si la police yi soog a yëg ne dee na something like that news bank si àdduna si Angleterre su ngeen typee Glasgow woman found dead in her room yéen ñi dégg Angale di ngeen gis the whole story read naa ko barki démb I cannot remember exactly like ñaata fan la bi mu dee xaw ma bi ko xarit yi gëjee dégg ak bi ko police yi di gis si néeg bi waaye daal soo gisee ma bugg a wax lii tamit gaaw si Angale bala maa wax xolof bala maa wax Angale mooy ñun nit ku ñuul yi nga xam ne we are here ñu ngi bitim réew baax na ñu xam koo xam ne dañ yëgante loolu yàgg naa koo wax ci suma vidéo yi saawu façon yi xewee koo xam ne dañ yëgante te suñ xànd bi dafa dëggu dafa baax ñu wut ko ñuy koolante soo déggut nit ki suba ba ngoon 2 fan 3 fan 2 fan 3 fan sax sori na xamal xarit boo xam ne suba soo xëyee daal dana la dégg wala balaa jant so dana la dégg sa ko su fekkee yow kenn yaa dëkk su dee yow kenn yaa dëkk wala yaa ngi dëkk gune gu ndaw goo xam ne mënta woote téléphone mënta wuti ndimbal na nga xam xarit du benn sa warta do benn warta do ñaar na nekk at least 2 wala benn koo xam ne bët bu set soo xëyee suba ba jant so doo ko toog te déggul la xarit bi it na nga ko won ne ko man de xamu fi kenn soo ma déggul suba ba ngoon ba sa ëllëg sa déggoo ma rek xamal ne dara xew xarit ba su la déggut mu mën a gaaw wuti ndimbal waaye yow kenn nga nekk di wax ne xooluwuma nit ñi wala nit ñi boo jëm a dugalanteeg ñoom ñu di la daw ku ci mel noonu seetlu sa jikkoy bopp yi nga war a wecci ndax nit ñi de ñu si bëri buñ lay daw ñëpp xamal ne xam na jikko yoo war a wecci te ñun ñu si bëri ñoo bëri jikko yu ñu war a wecci that's the reality dalee ko si man maa ngi wecceeku te ba tey maa ngi jàng nu may gën a wecceekoo kenn matul koo xam ne it yaa ngi daw nit ñi just because borom xamul këyit wala nangam xamal ne àddina de këyit tey yaa ko xam waaye àllaaxira xamoo danga ko xam këyitam de te yu baax yi ngay defal nit ñi moom la yàlla di fay kon nag na nga su la nit jàppee wala nga gis ni koo war a jàpp ko soo xamul loo ko defali dee ko xoo téléphone saa yu ne di seen ndax mu ngi si jàmm dimbale ko te xam ne lu baax loolu yàlla ak moom moo tax nga di ko def loolu laa bëgg a wax si xolof si nit ki dee noonu ndax loo xam ne la mun naa dal ku ne yàlla na ko yàlla xare àjjana jigéen la xamul jëkkër ñu ne moom kenn moo nekkoon ak doomam foofu doom ju am benn xat nit jigéen ni ku ñuul waa kenn yàlla dee sa néegam dafa daw yaram torop yàlla na ko yàlla xare àjjana yàlla na fi géej yàlla na ñun ñu jógee Afrique ñoo di wut si yëpp yàlla may ñu luñ wut si bañ ñibbi si jàmm yàlla bu suñ bakkan bi des fii ñun ñu fi des yàlla nañu ci yàlla musal loolu rek laa bëggoon a wax si wolof gaaw bala maa wax li may wax si àngale the same thing lu ma wax nii rek laay wax of course nothing else ak góor nga xam ne nii the same thing lu ma wax nii rek laay wax si àngale of course ak góor nga xam ne nii démb defaloon naa ko vidéo di ko wax ne ko non defaluma ko woon vidéo démb moom moo defal vidéo jigéen ji ma doon wax mbiram démb ne jigéen ji ma doon wax démb ne mooy xeex pour gune yi dellu Gambie Lobet Jallow fa xam nit ak baro koo xam ne fa génn di ko defal vidéo di ko xas naan ko li nga wax waroo koo wax ak li nga def waroo koo def ak nii ki naa ak di farle nguur gi daal naan nit ñi fañ bañ nguur gi rek moo tax nangam góor goog laa bëgg a tontu tuuti it loolu rek laay wax so jërë ngeen jëf ci vidéo yi ngeen di seetaan like leen comment share su ngeen bëggee sponsor suma channel bi dee leen seetaan suma aad yi su fekkee mënu leen a donate sax ngeen seetaan suma aad yi soo ya loolu rek laa bëgg a waxtee si current affair bi si àngale and ya damay commencé léegi wax àngale su ngeen bëggee ma def another wolof waxtaan again waxal leen ma def another wolof waxtaan again ngeen bind ko si ron. Hello viewers, welcome again. I was speaking in Wolof to try and just break down quickly what I will be talking about in English because I have all kind of viewers and sometimes some of them are Senegalese and if I just speak English they don't know what I'm saying. So I wanted to just make a quick analysis of what I will be talking about in English. So welcome to the channel. To support my channel, of course you can donate or you can watch my ads. I will appreciate that. Like the video as well, I will appreciate that. Comment below as well, I will appreciate that. Thank you for watching. And yeah, let's jog on to today's current affair. So today's current affair, we're going to be talking about a woman in Glasgow, which is the next city to where I am. I live in Scotland and Edinburgh is the capital city. And Glasgow is bigger than Edinburgh, which is why it's more popular. Edinburgh is known for a festival, Edinburgh Festival, but it's not happening this year because of 2020, of course. But that's what Edinburgh is known for. But Glasgow is more famous because it's bigger and just a lot of things happen there and stuff, you know. So Glasgow has a woman that is a single mother and she died in her room very sad with her 1-year-old baby beside her in the bed. And the police said that her friends said they last hear from her on Saturday, but they've not tell us when she died. You know, they just said they last hear from her on Saturday and they discover her on the 27th, which is I think 3 days after, something like this. And she died next to the baby, but they've not said whether it's a suicide death or what. They've not tell us how she died, you know. But they said the baby was starving and just so weak and crying and so weak and tired. Bless the baby that they found him and they say he's fine. They take him to hospital and he's recovering fine. They release him. Why I want to talk about this quickly is for us that, you know, migrated in the northern land. I know we shouldn't migrate anywhere like the way a lot of us migrate here. Migrated in abroad. Some of us come here because we have good jobs and we move here to work. Anybody is allowed to move anywhere you want to work all over the world. This is democratic, this is freedom. Anyone is allowed to move somewhere because you're married and your husband is there or your wife is there, you know, this kind of thing. But some of us run away from life and that's the reality. And it's not easy. We can't continue running away from life and coming to other places thinking it's better because it's really not better. You have to work hard for it to make it little better. And that working hard, if you spend it in your country, most likely you will still make it little better. So I do understand this. But hence a lot of us is already out. Even if we're going to go back, there's a way that, you know, we have to do it. And we can't just all go back in one day. Let's just be real. So I'm still going to talk about us that is here abroad, how to protect ourselves and protect each other. Okay, what I want to say about this thing that this woman died in Glasgow is, it's very sad. And I do talk about this before. It happened before, you know, I don't know if it's 2 years ago or so. It happened, someone died in their room on their own. And I do mention this in the video, but I'm going to talk about it in a different way today. When we move abroad and we happen to be alone, which is sometimes male, is mostly male or even female, being on their own. Sometimes the male is not on their own alone. The female, most of the time, they're either single mom or sometimes on their own, but not many. A lot of us like to see a 1 room or 2 bedroom together. Most of the time we see a 2 bedroom together. Men and women, we don't migrate and just stay on our own, paying our own rent and staying on our own. It doesn't happen often. Okay, most of the time, even if you're working, you're gonna have 2 bedroom and you rent one of the rooms, so your rent is cheaper. But some of us live on our own, even if it's 2 bedroom because they have okay job, whatever. But let's talk about people that live on their own and the danger of living on your own, or even the danger of having a roommate that you don't get on with. When you have a roommate, you have to be able to talk to them, and if you're not there or they don't hear from you, they should be able to know where you are going. If you are traveling, let them know. If they don't hear from you, they should be able to knock the door and check on you. I don't advise you to be enemy with your roommate. You have to move out then, or they have to move out. Life too short. If you are living on your own, you have to find a friend. Find a friend that you're gonna get on with. Find a friend that you're gonna have a genuine relationship with, even if it's 1 person. But if it's 2, it's better. If not, just even 1. Make sure that you're just communicating with them. Even if you don't see them every day, but make sure every day you send them a text, or they will send you a text and you reply. You cannot wake up until you go to bed without replying. And also, do not be embarrassed. Make this person understand that you're living on your own. And if you're living with a baby and the baby is so young, they cannot pick up a phone call, they cannot look for help, then you're still living on your own. Because now it's not you're living on your own, but the baby is also living on their own with you. So this is why you should even get more protection. That baby could have died, God forbid, if that woman was not discovered on time. Sorry, it's not discovered in time. But if that baby was not discovered in time, for how long can that baby stay next to the dead mom crying? Oh, and I think it's like 3 days, because they say Saturday is when they last, the friend says Saturday, the police say the friend says Saturday is when they last hear from the woman. But I don't know from that time, when she died. So only God knows. The news is on Daily Mail and it's on different news platforms. If you type in Glasgow woman died in her bed, you will see it. It's there. You see, you recognize her picture. Very sad. I'm gonna try to put the details for you to see it as I'm talking. Hopefully you'll be able to read what's happening. But talk to somebody. I pray this woman, God will give her heaven. Talk to somebody that is your friend. Try to find a genuine friend. I know it's very hard to find a genuine friend nowadays. And people run away from you just because you don't have the right documents sometimes. Even if you done nothing. And some of us also are not easy to be friend with, because you're friend with us genuinely, and sometimes we don't give you back that genuine effort that you're giving us. So it's very hard. I'm advising anyone who is not a genuine friend, try to learn how to be a genuine friend to people that you're friend with. Most likely, if you are genuine, kind, loving, you're gonna have people that are just gonna genuinely love you. They don't care you have the right visa or not. But it's difficult, because sometimes when the girls don't have the right visa to stay in any of these countries and they're young, it can even be worse, because a lot of women that are married, they're scared of people that don't have visa. They think that their husband will sleep with them. They have this concept of people that don't have visa are easy to get, because they're always looking for visa. So they always want relationship with people. Also, just single women in general, if you look cute, the other women that are married most of the time and are insecure because they cannot trust their husbands, they're not going to want to friend with you. So then you have to only have friends who are single like you. But then the problem with that is, some of these women that are single, they're not good. It's not all of us that are single that are good. You do have good, responsible single women. But some single women, the kind of life they live, if you don't want to live like that, then you're on your own. This is why it's hard for us African migrants, especially when they are women, to have a friend, especially when they're single. Very hard. It's hard to have a friend if you live trying to live a decent life. You don't want to live anyhow kind of a life. It's hard to have a friend that is like that. And some people that are like that, they're scared to make a new friend. Because sometimes you have friends and they come into your house and they're taking your details, opening bank account, opening store card. That happened to me when I was new here. So there's so many bad things that friends does to you that you don't want friend. I know this world is in the way that it's somewhere that we don't trust each other anymore, you know. We treat each other anyhow, sadly, and this is insane. But we still have to know that there are some genuine people out there. And for anyone who is not genuine, try to learn. No one is perfect. I'm learning life every day. Try to learn to get better every day. Try to have a friend who you get on with, who you call each other every day. If you have a genuine friend, even if you do wrong to each other, you should be able to sort it out and continue. Or if it's not going to work, find a new friend. Don't just say that I'm not going to have no friend. No one is good. I'm just going to be on my own. No. Make sure you have 1 or 2 people that you show them you care about them, and then hopefully they'll show you back the care. You contact them every day. Make them understand that we have to keep in touch every day because I don't have nobody here. So if you don't hear from me all day till night, just know that something is wrong. Do not be embarrassed to make this clear, and the person should check on you every time. So any of us that watching this, if you know anyone that you know on their own, make sure you check on them every day, please. And make sure when people check in on you every day, check back. Even if it's just a voice note on WhatsApp or like a hi message, text or something like this. You don't have to call every day and be on the phone for hours. But make sure you hear from people and people hear from you. Please. Especially when you have a baby and you're on your own as a single mother. Please. I pray that us all will survive here until we go back to our country. And I pray that this kind of thing is not going to happen, continue to happen to us. It's disheartening, scary, and just beyond sad. I pray that God will give this woman heaven and things like this will not happen again to any of us that is here. I pray we go back. I pray we get what we're looking for and go back. And I pray that we just go back peacefully to where we came from instead of dying here in this kind of manner. I pray that you will go to heaven. I know life comes with death and doesn't matter where you are when it's your time you go. In this UK, when you don't have the right document, they don't allow you to work. They don't allow you any benefit money. You're on your own. So you have to get some help if you have a baby from some church or something like this. But I heard they say she died of starvation, like she was suffering because she seek asylum and the asylum was not done yet, something like this. And she was suffering. So it's very sad because even in the UK or Europe somewhere or America, you still can be suffering. It's not just Africa. So I just pray that God will help us all. For someone who don't have a paper, I pray you will have the paper. I'm advising for people who don't have the paper. If you are suffering here for years, go back to Africa, please. It's not worth it. I swear to God, if it's not worth it. Me, if I don't have paper by now, I'm gone long time. Just pray that we all go back peacefully and this kind of thing is not going to continue happening to us. We should either go back to Africa peacefully if you don't have the right visa to stay here instead of staying here suffering like this. Or we can continue staying here and pray and try to get contacts that is going to check on you all the time. Doesn't matter you have the visa or not. You cannot be on your own. Human beings need each other. Not just for this kind of situation, but we just cannot be on our own. There's consequences of being on your own. You can enjoy it now and thinking I don't need nobody. But everything in life have consequences. So, especially when you isolate yourself with people, you have big consequences. So I advise if you have a friend, have that relationship with them and contact them every time, especially when you're on your own. Every day, don't go to bed without them hearing from you. Check on each other. And people that we think that they don't have visa, we don't have to run away from them. You have to treat someone according to how they treat you. Nothing to do with visa or not. If the person is nice to you, be nice back. Let's understand this, please. We're all in this together. Okay, now I'm going to move to the next current affair. which is what's happened in Senegal. So in Senegal, one of the police officer, I don't know, he's a police or army, I don't know. He's called Colonel something. This Colonel guy get rid of his 6-year-old daughter by himself with anger, aggressive way of bringing up children that we are very good at, of course. That is destroying Africa and will continue to destroy Africa. Saying that because the child went away, I don't know doing what, without asking him, taking his permission. The child who is 6 and the child is a twins. This man was hitting the child when the mom was in the shower. Extreme hitting that some people think he either chop off the child head or smack the child head with something so heavy that the child head, they said, was in pieces. Subhanallah. And this is somebody in the government, either in the police or in the army. Colonel, is that not police thing? Colonel, is that not army thing? Colonel something. Anyway, so you Senegalese people know the story. It's in the news all over in Senegal since yesterday. Since the day before yesterday or since yesterday. Yeah. Let's think. So our African news is embarrassing to say it in English. But the reality is, we have to say some of them. The saying it in Wolof alone doesn't work. And it's all Africa problem. Not just one Senegal or Gambia problem. And it's not all Africans that understand our language. Our language and our people are very small kind of a people in Africa, Gambia and Senegal. We are the smallest. So sometimes I have to talk about some of our issues in Wolof, as much as it's embarrassing. But when someone is in the army or in the police, they're supposed to guide people and protect them, is killing their own children with anger management, aggressive behavior, hitting a 6-year-old to death, smashing their head, cutting their head, doing whatever kind of aggressive way to kill them. And then saying that I didn't know what happened, I couldn't control myself. Of course you cannot control yourself because you have anger management and you are insane. But I also can see that you've been through the same anger management and insaneness growing up. I am so 100%. This is why I talk about how we should stop abusing our children to death with the amount of hit we hit them. You cannot love someone and destroy them at the same time. The amount of hitting African people hit their children is why we can never have a good president. We can never have a good doctor, good lawyer, good nothing. Because if we are 10, the whole 8 is been mentally damaged with the abuse they've been through growing up. They don't even know how to respect human beings and their values anymore. This is all. This is our problem. That's all. Apart from that, we are loving, kind, beautiful. We are everything. But this beating is our poison. I don't like talking about it much because I get emotional. And sometimes when I talk about it, I have to explain my own experience. And I don't like explaining my own experience every time, and people thinking I'm just saying it because I don't love my mom or respect her or appreciate her or whatever. They're going to start thinking, you know how our people are. And it's nothing to do with that. No one love them more than me. Loving the person is different from telling them that what they're doing is wrong. You also, when you tell them that, for example, even if you're telling them that face to face in a nice, polite way, doesn't mean you disrespect them. You're just making them that this is wrong so they don't continue to influence others to think this is wrong, this is right. Also, it's for her. If she cannot do it, fine, but it's for you and the person, whoever the person is, to come out and tell the public that this is wrong. So other people you influence will know that you influence them in a wrong way. Because the reality is, whatever we do in this world, we influence other people from it, either it's good or bad. We know it. A lot of us are beating our children the way we beat them is because that's how we've been beaten. That's all. So it's up to you to beat the children just like the way you've been beaten, or even more, or learn to not do it. Learn to stop doing it. You have those 3 options. But with the option of continuing to beat, and even bit worse than you've been bitten, it has big consequences. You know why? Because this is 2020. Now these children, they're not like us. They know human rights. They know the word abuse. They use it very often now. Not like us growing up, we don't even know what's the word abuse. I didn't know that word until I learned my foot in the UK. That's when I hear the word abuse, I was like, what's that? Children here, they know the word abuse. The moment they're born, they teach them the word abuse. So, they also know the word narcissistic and just all these other words that you can never hear in Africa most of the time. So, make sure that you learn how to cut down the beating. Make sure that you tell your children, this is wrong, I shouldn't do this, this is how I've been raised, that's why I was doing it, but it's wrong, I'm trying to change, I'm going to work on it to change, I'm sorry, and you work on changing so they don't grow up doing that, because they won't get away with it. It's fading away slowly. It's not, some children, you beat them. Some of these children even kill their own parents one day. They have enough. Or they're going to grow up and never want any talk to do with you. Never want anything to do with you. You raised them all these years for zero. They're going to grow up, abandon you, and tell you that you didn't bring me up, you just beat me every day. That's all you've been doing. What are you going to do? We beat the children easily for every little thing. I'm not repeating all that today. But again, another aggressive, angry, insane, shouldn't have children type of African parent again. And there's millions out there, and there's even hundreds of them and thousands of them right now as I'm talking to you doing their work. I just don't know about it, and I'm only telling you this particular one now, but there's thousands of them doing their work as I'm talking now, which is the aggressive, insane, mad anger that they have with themselves, that they have to settle and find peace in life, and they cannot. They're putting all their anger with the children, revenging all the beating on the children, revenging their anger with life with children. When you have a hard life, you have to learn how to make it better. Not you making it worse by continuing to be dishonest, cheating, lying, doing stuff you're not supposed to do, having human beings karma on your neck, just suffering every day. Doesn't matter you have money or not, because you're not living a good, honest life. All this dishonest life that you're going to be living, and the life that you're suffering others and having their karma on you, is going to make you more unhappy, plus your life experience that you have growing up. So you're going to have double unhappy life, and you don't have to put it on a child. I know it's annoying when the child is not listening. Extremely annoying. It gets to me too. I'm working on it. I'm getting better now. My children get to me when they're not listening. Still, I sometimes lose it when they're not listening. Like I'm like, I'm going crazy. But you have to learn how to, when you notice that this thing you're doing is too much, doesn't matter what this thing is, learn how to calm it down. One thing that we have to learn how to calm it down is the child beating. Africans child beating. The amount of children that the government take away from Africans because of child beating. The amount of children that grow up using drugs, alcohol, prostitution because the way they abuse them when they're growing up. The amount of children that don't have good relationship with their parents because of the child beating. The amount of children that don't know how to love and care for people because of child beating is insane. And then people say that why we don't love each other, why we are like this. Yeah. How? Who taught us how to love? Anyway, I have to continue talking about the next current affair. So the next current affair is this guy, that come out yesterday, called Ahmad Gite, condemning Lovett Jallow. Lovett Jallow is the woman who come out and fight for these girls to come out of Libya. With her NGO, she bought them ticket to go back. I explained that yesterday in the live video that I did, but I private it because it's I found out the children are out. Sorry, the girls are going home. The women. That's why. After I did the video, I saw she did a video straight away saying that these people went home. Are going home. But this man from the president, he support the president. Okay? He come out condemning this woman in a rude, aggressive way, and then saying the woman herself is rude. And condemning the woman and supporting the government for his madness. Saying that the government is good, it's just people, anybody that work with the government, people say you're lying, say whatever he said. The video is there, you guys saw it. But what I don't understand about this man is, number one, why he's always talking about Allah in his videos. You cannot mix Allah with politics, everybody knows that. But of course, when you're not afraid of Allah, how are you going to be afraid of anybody when you're mixing Allah with politics? So we also sometimes mix Allah with politics, just like you're doing. We copy that from you by reminding you the same Allah you're using to blackmail people. We remind you also to follow that Allah by not mixing him with politics for a start. Not to mention not supporting this government that will never focus on nothing, especially healthcare. Why you never tell the government to focus on the healthcare? Instead of going to visit some chicken factory, going to visit some market and buying dry fish, smoked fish, you're not telling the government to go and visit the hospital and fix it? So you're not honest, you cannot tell us nothing. Less than. The hospitals are there, they cannot have nothing. And you're here talking nonsense. Look, me, I don't have your energy. Okay? Because I'm a bit sad, about this current affair that the woman died and just this short child that they killed really bad. And also I have a family member that is not well. So you're lucky. I don't have your energy. I'm at Gite. I just want to say a little about this woman that you're condemning. This woman that you're condemning, I understand that you're right, she shouldn't record this man. I think she shouldn't record this man. Or if she record the man, she shouldn't publish it. Maybe she should keep the record for, I don't know what, for evidence. I don't know what evidence. But you are right. When you live in Europe here, when you're recording someone, you should tell them, I'm recording you. When you don't tell them, I'm recording you, that's a criminal offense. That's true. But, and what the government is doing is more criminal offense than this. And the government not fixing the country is not more criminal offense. And the government neglecting the healthcare, people dying, is not criminal offense. And the woman, I am sure, recorded this man because the woman knows that you people will deny, for example, whatever she said or something. Like, you know how Gambians, they need evidence. Every time they like evidence. Even if she said that, for example, I talked to the government, somebody will say, where's the evidence? Maybe that's why she did it. But I don't think she did it like she meant harm, like she did it just to bully people or whatever, I don't think so. Anyway, you are a man. And you guys saying that women are not clever and that women are just women and that you are men, you're superiors. Is that not how you guys talk all the time? You African men, especially you Muslim African men. 90% of you, that's what you always said, especially someone like you. Now, why are you fighting with a woman? Why are you coming on Facebook fighting with a woman who fights so hard to send these people to Africa who want to go back to their country? And you cannot tell her thank you. You're here fighting about her recording somebody. That's none of your business. You just want to fight her. That's why you're talking about her. Anyway, we still appreciate her. Doesn't matter if she records somebody or not. We appreciate her for what she did. So don't even bother. You're just embarrassed because your government couldn't help people. Your government cannot send these people. She have to take her NGO money to send these people. 36 people. She booked them tickets from her NGO money. And your government cannot do nothing apart from signing the document and they refusing that. And she had to come out and get rage and we all had to come out before your government can sign it. That's why you're embarrassed. You know that the whole world is watching your government and knowing how useless they are. That's why you're embarrassed as F. That's why you're coming here talking like a hopeless person, talking about find a barrage. Leave this woman alone. If your government don't want to work with her, she also don't want to work with your government. You're showing people how useless your government is. That's why you're sitting there saying my government will not work with you. My government don't want to work with you. That's your business. Okay, this is what I want to say about this particular current affair. Right, I'm going to close this topic here, people. As you can see, I'm tired. I'm really tired. Because I couldn't sleep properly yesterday, you know. I'm still worried about this family member that I told you that is not well. So you guys please pray for me. This family member that had the accident, I'm still very, very worried. So please pray for me about this family member to get better. And yeah, just this whole current affair is very sad, you know, and I know about it since the child one. I know about it since last night, the Senegal child one that the father killed. But this Glasgow one, I know about it since 2 days ago. I wanted to talk about it, but I was like, I wasn't sure. But when I saw everyone, you know, my Scotland friends on Facebook sharing the thing and talking about it on Facebook, that's when I decided to talk about it for us all to learn from it. So yeah, thank you for watching. Have a good day. Like the video, share, comment, and see you guys again soon next time. Thank you. Inshallah. Bye. See you again.